when you have to reach the town early or you have to come back home early, and just mere getting stuck in the traffic is as bad as trying to rush through. So
Yeah.
what this does is the adrenaline levels, when they go up, they produce spasm of all the arteries, and these spasm of the arteries is what is going to raise the blood pressure. And having in a critical hour, 1 hour of, I mean, you have to always look at it as an average of 24 hours. So in the 24 hours, if 4 hours, if your blood pressure continues to be high, you are stressing your heart that much. And imagine if you have to do it every day of your life. So imagine the amount of time you are stressing your heart muscle, your kidneys, and if you have an incipient condition, this can prove to be a very important changeling. On the contrary, the parasympathetic is the one which actually calms you down. So parasympathetic is opposite of adrenaline. So this is what will reduce your pulse rate. It's what will lower your blood pressure. It's what is going to put you into a soporific state. So this balance is what I was alluding to. You know, having maybe you can reduce the sympathetic stressors by while driving, listening to music or listening to a podcast, and resigning yourself to the fact that there is no option but to wait in the car, and then listen, rationalizing yourself. So
Calming
this
your
is
mind.
what, yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I think I certainly hope people get a good explanation on how, what calming the mind is and how important reducing stress is to your overall well-being, including your heart health.
Absolutely.
So now let's talk about exercise. I mean, I think people think that we have to go out and run, a 5K every morning, or we have to do intensive workouts. But from the research that I'm reading, just being active and maybe getting your heart rate up a bit is okay. But what do you recommend?
Yeah, there has been a lot of rethinking on the whole exercise paradigm. So basically, the current recommendation is that you need to have at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise every week, or 75 minutes of high intensity exercise. So there is absolutely no need to be under a kind of a duress to, you have to run every morning, you have to run this particular distance. No, there is no need. If you are able to manage a level of fitness by using these rough guidelines, that should be more than enough. And again, one of the recent clear knowledge developments is that excessive exercise is detrimental to the health. So this is called as a J curve in medicine. J curve, if you can imagine how a letter J is. So when you increase your exercise, the benefits keep increasing. But the moment the exercise goes beyond a particular point, the benefits start coming down. In fact, they get reversed. So very high intensity exercise is not good for your health. And so that's very clear. And again, marathon runners seem to have a higher incidence of significant cardiac problems because the heart muscle becomes very thick, the pulse rate becomes inappropriately slow, they have much higher incidence of atrial fibrillation, so on and so forth. So basically, exercise is very important. You need to, you put it very well, that you need to be active. Sitting is like smoking. If you are on a desk job, I don't know the civil service how it works here. So maybe, but generally most of the people in the civil service or the accountants or lawyers. It's generally a desk job, and this is not the right thing. So you need to be active. You need to get your hours of standing and walking and the steps, and at least put in some moderate intensity exercise into your weekly exercise quota.
Yeah, I'm glad you said, judge the new sitting as a new smoking, because research is just coming out to say that, just sitting down all day is really, it's 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 akin to smoking,
Correct.
for the
Correct.
lack of a better word.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what it is. What I did. Sitting is the new smoking. Yeah.
Yeah. And all we need to do is get up every 5 minutes and maybe just go for a little stroll around the office, do a
Yeah.
100 steps, move
Yeah.
around for a little bit.
Correct.
Yeah. Uh, and what about eating? What's your advice to your patients about eating?
See, that's one of the commonest questions asked, and it's one of the most misunderstood, misinterpreted things in medicine. Many doctors also are not the right people to advise it. Many nutritionists may not be able to put the square peg in a square hole. So it's invariably a confused advice is given to them. So my advice is do anything in moderation. No need to go into the high protein or the keto diet or any one of these fancy diets. My advice to the patients is to stick to whatever you eat it in moderation, and incorporate based on your if you're a diabetic, you need to have a lower carbohydrate diet. So understand the amount of carbohydrate that's going into your plate every day. If you are hypertensive, you obviously need to cut down your salt. So basically, you need to have a moderate approach to eating. Don't overdo anything. But one of the important things is to cut down the sugar intake. That very clearly is, I think, everyone accepts it as a very important part of cardiovascular prevention.
Yeah. I'm glad that you say, everything in balance, and I think we're all very different. We have individual needs. That I'm a health coach, and that's what I recommend to my clients, that do whatever you need to lose the weight, but do it slowly. And if you were growing up, you ate meat, maybe you don't have to be a vegan, but you could put in more vegetables in your plate. Whatever works for you, and realize that weight control or eating, you're not getting to a certain place. It's a journey of continuous change and moving forward to make yourself healthy. At least that's
absolutely.
Yes,
you're right. You're right. It's a complex subject, and it's not just going to a nutritionist or talking to a doctor and trying to do a knee-jerk change to your diet. But the compliance and maintaining it consistently is one of the most difficult parts of patient management. So it's not very easy at all.
So, how often do you see patients? Sorry, let me rephrase that.
No problem.
As we are in this new sitting way of living, how young now are you seeing patients come to you for heart-related?
We are able to pick up the problems much earlier because of the various testing modalities. And in general, most of the patients are definitely more health conscious, especially I think in a pretty informed society like Cayman. We keep seeing a lot of people coming for a preventive cardiac screening. And we do pick up early onset heart attacks in some patients. So it's basically multifactorial, as I explained to you. The risk factors, among the risk factors of the heart disease, one of the most important risk factor is family history. If you have a significant family history of coronary artery disease in your first degree relatives, your chance of having the same problem is pretty high. And this is precisely the segment of people we are seeing with early onset angina, with early evidence of blockages in the arteries, early heart attacks. And the worrying thing is when they have a heart attack in an earlier age, the heart attacks tend to be much larger and they impact the heart function even worse. So we do see it in younger people too, when they have a predisposed risk factor profile.
Wow. You said in the beginning of the show that we have to start at heart health at a very young age.
Yes, very young age.
So I'm thinking when we're a baby, how parents...
Well, interestingly, there was a very, very fascinating study. So when you check your cholesterol levels when you're born, say let's say newborn, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That is the cholesterol level God has given you. Whatever is at the newborn. So, I mean, assuming there are no cholesterol disorders in the family. So, whatever you develop over a period of in your growth is the increasing risk of having more cholesterol in the body. And so there are some situations where in the screening, they look at the cholesterol level and they keep screening them at a regular. These are all in research and study arenas. Nobody does it in normal day-to-day life. So this is one way of addressing the problem. You check the baseline cholesterol levels and maybe keep checking the cholesterol at periodic intervals, 5 years, 10 years, so you will really know what is happening. Because among the very important data in the development of plaques in the arteries, they have noticed it as early as 10 years of age. So when you're 10 years, the fatty streak, it's called as a fatty streak, it starts developing in the body. And the fatty streak is the precursor to the plaque in the heart, which is responsible for the heart. So if you want to protect your child so assiduously, maybe this is the way to go about it. Keep checking the cholesterol. In fact, one of the recommendations is to start checking the cholesterol as early as 10 years of age now. 10 to 20 years, you do your first baseline lipid profile. You'll pick up children having a condition called as familial hypercholesterolemia, which is a condition, one of the important conditions, under-recognized and important conditions, which predisposes to premature heart attacks. So when you identify that, you are able to start risk prevention strategies pretty early in the life of a child.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we wrap up? Believe it or not, we got about a minute and a half left.
I think you conducted it very well, Tara. Really, I think we have covered fairly good basic level of understanding of cardiac prevention. So I think you covered exercise, you covered diet, we didn't do too much emphasis on smoking. Well, it is, I think, I definitely noticed that there is a reduction in smoking in the community. People are aware that it is not the right thing. So, and we have understood the importance of high blood pressure, how to screen for it, routinely keep checking your blood pressures, take care of your diabetes, take care of your diet. I think we did a reasonable bit. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Ravi, for being on for the Health of It, for doing such, for you and your team at Health City doing such fantastic work for our community. And thanks for always looking after my dad when he comes to your.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
So have a
I'm
good.
I'm glad he doesn't have to visit often now, so he's doing well. That's the great thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being on the Health of It again, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Tara.
Bye for now.
Yeah.
We are moving you to the life you want.
Refilling and transferring your prescriptions have never been this easy. Simply go to healthcarepharmacy.ky and follow the easy directions from your desktop, mobile device, or tablet. All you need to do is pop into Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor to collect your prescription. They're open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 10 till 6 on Sundays and public holidays. No waiting in line, no wasting your lunch hour, no stress. Just easy online prescription refills and transfers from the pharmacy that has been caring about your health for 25 years. Call 947-8900 to speak to a pharmacist or go to healthcarepharmacy.ky and make life easy.
This health tip is brought to you by the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association. We care about our members. Eat a healthy diet. Eat a combination of different foods, including fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, and whole grains. The pace at which you eat influences how much you eat. So slow down.
For the Health of It, Radio Cayman's premier health show is brought to you by the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association
and evangelist Joseph Ebanks. Have you heard the call?
This is For the Health of It with Tara Bush. For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
What do you call it? We call it the cow itch.
I've tried the short roads to being a man.
Beautiful, beautiful shoreline.
Oh, Cayman moon.
Cayman all-time favorites.
Poor old Robert. Poor old Robert.
Here he comes, Osito. Come to spray mosquito. All the girls in line, they say, Louis, please spray mine.
Cayman all-time favorites begins right now.
Weatherman says another heat wave. Well, there's some news, another wet and sticky day. So I opened the window to let in the breeze and heard people shouting, which caused me unease. Somebody said guys are breaking in my car, but it's too damn hot, I don't care if they are. So I asked the weather station, man, when's this heat gonna stop? They said, hey, you should know, around here it's always hot. So I got in my car, cranked up the AC, and the car broke down. It's just an old Chevy. Repairman said the whole thing is shot. I just didn't care, cause it's too damn hot. It's too hot to handle. Lord, I'm so sweaty, not a breeze anywhere. It's too hot to handle and too hot to care. Friends called last night, said my man's on the town with another chick and he was getting down. So I picked up the phone and gave him a call. He said, baby, I'm tired of you, and that says it all. But I didn't cry, I don't give a rip, cause it's too damn hot and I don't give up. It's too too hot to handle. Lord, I'm so sweaty, not a breeze anywhere. It's too hot to handle and too hot to care.